Good morning, Tony. Can you believe it's almost time? The rest of our life begins tomorrow.
Morning, Carly. Yup, it really is tomorrow. Ain't it crazy how quickly it came round? By the way, Carly, I'm sorry to keep asking you this, but are you sure you're really okay with our wedding being so small?
Are you really bringing this up again? I'm not in contact with any of my relatives, and I haven't been back to my hometown in over 10 years, so there aren't many people I can invite. Why do you keep raising this issue when I've already told you this? I don't see the point in having a huge, extravagant ceremony where most of the seats are empty.
I see. Yeah, you're right. Sorry for bringing it up again. I'm a one-time divorcee with a kid, but this is your first marriage. I hear all the time about how much women love having huge weddings, and I guess it just played on my mind. I don't want you to be disappointed, that's all.
It's fine, really. Sure, there are girls like that out there, but I'm not one of them. For me, a small ceremony with just me, you, and your friends and family is enough. I promise you I won't complain, Tony. I wouldn't like having lots of people fussing over me anyway. I've always been the shy type, you know?
Got it. I really am sorry I keep bringing it up. I won't mention it again.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. I know you only do it because you care. That reminds me, will you be bringing Beth with you tomorrow?
No, I decided against it in the end. She'd probably be grouchy if I woke her up that early. I think aligning her with my schedule would be too stressful. I dropped her off at my folks' place in the next town last night, and they'll be bringing her with them in their car tomorrow. Besides, I wouldn't know the first thing about getting a little girl dressed up for a wedding. I feel much more at ease knowing my mom will be dealing with all that. Can you imagine me trying to do her makeup?
Now that you mention it, I think it's for the best. I guess your folks having her works out for everyone, what with me and you being so busy. All right, see you tomorrow.
Yep. Remember, we're all meeting up at 8 a.m. outside the venue.
Tony, is now a good time?
Oh, hey, Mom. Sure, I'm not too busy right now. Is Beth behaving herself?
Oh, Beth's being just delightful as always.
I guess I didn't really need to ask. I feel blessed to have such a well-behaved daughter.
Anyway, Tony, Beth just told me something a little worrying, so I decided to message you.
Worrying? What's wrong?
She's here with me now. She's going to tell me what she wants you to know, and I'm going to write it all down here word for word. Do you have time? I'll put everything she says in brackets.
Wow, is everything okay? This sounds serious. Sure, I have time. Go ahead.
Dad, you can't go outside tomorrow.
Why not, Beth? You do know your daddy's getting married tomorrow, right?
A girl was looking at your girlfriend with a sad face.
A girl was looking at my girlfriend with a sad face? What's that supposed to mean?
You can't get married tomorrow. Carly's a liar.
Beth! What are you talking about, honey?
Tony?
Mom, is that you?
Yes.
What the hell is Beth talking about? I don't understand any of this at all. I know she's never been Carly's biggest fan, but isn't this all a little nuts on the day before our wedding? What's gotten into her?
Listen to me, Tony. Did you make sure to find out about how Beth felt about you and Carly getting married?
Huh? Well, sure, of course I did. She's my daughter, and proposing to Carly wasn't a decision I made on my own. I made sure to consult with her first and make sure she was comfortable with everything before going ahead with it. When Beth gave us her blessing, I proposed and started making the preparations for the wedding. But I would never have done any of it if I wasn't sure Beth was happy. My daughter always comes first, Mom.
I see. Listen, Tony, the thing is, this is just my subjective feeling, so I wasn't even sure whether I should tell you in the first place, but to be totally honest with you, I feel compelled to.
What is it?
I know Beth can be a little sensitive at times, but I've gotten the impression she's been afraid of Carly for some time now.
What? Afraid? But why? Even though she gave us the go-ahead for the wedding?
I think there's a pretty good chance she was hiding her true feelings because she didn't want you to be upset with her. She might have been worried about how you'd react and didn't want to cause any tension or drama between the two of you.
Hiding her true feelings?
Do you think maybe she picked up on something important just before the wedding? And this is why she's saying all this now?
Like what exactly?
Well, wouldn't it have something to do with what she just said to you now? It seemed awfully like she was hinting at something.
I guess it did.
Are you free? Do you think you could come over for a little while to talk this through with her? I think there are some things that are best discussed in person, Tony. Besides, she's only 6 years old. I don't think she has the vocabulary to express what she really means over messages.
Yeah, you're right. I'll be over in a jiffy.
Tony, I was confused when you showed up at my house out of the blue, but I never expected you to call off the engagement. What the hell's gotten into you? We're supposed to be getting married tomorrow.
I'll be calling the venue first thing tomorrow morning to let them know the wedding's off.
No, wait, you can't do this to me. Why? I don't understand.
You mean you can't think of any reason whatsoever why I'd want to break things off with you?
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
Did you really think I wouldn't find out?
What are you talking about? I swear I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
When I stopped by at your house earlier, did you think it was the first time I came over today?
Huh?
I needed to confirm something, so I stopped by at your folks' place this afternoon.
Wait, what? Since when do you know where my mom and dad live?
I was blessed with a miraculous opportunity to find out. I intentionally went without announcing my arrival beforehand, and when I got there, I knew I made the right decision. Because when I did, I met a woman claiming to be your mom who you told me was dead, and a little girl who referred to you as Mom. Who exactly is that little girl to you, Carly?
She's one of my relatives' daughters. You see, she has this dumb habit of calling all of the grown-up women in our family Mom. We've been trying to get her to stop, but she won't listen.
Your relatives? Your family? Hang on a second, Carly. Didn't you tell me you have no family?
Oh, that? Well,
So there are other members of your family who are alive and kicking?
No, she's, my friend's daughter.
Drop the act, Carly. I'm done with your crap already. I know everything, so there's no point in trying to hide it. How about you just be honest and make this a lot easier for us both?
What do you mean?
I decided to do a little digging after meeting your dead mom and the girl who called you Mommy.
Digging?
Nothing too crazy. I just went around knocking on a few of the neighbors' doors to see if they could tell me anything that might help make sense of all this. After you went back to your apartment where you live on your own, I found out that she is in fact your mother and the girl is your 4-year-old daughter.
Wait a sec. No way. Did my mom tell you that?
Your mom came clean because she felt bad for me about all the lies you'd subjected me to. Don't be mad with her. You made me believe this was your first marriage all along, didn't you? You lied about being childless, too. It turns out you were a one-time divorcee with a little girl just like me all along. Well, not exactly like me. I divorced my wife because I found out she was cheating on me. But in your case, you betrayed your husband by cheating on him with the gardener and tricked him into believing you were pregnant with his kid when it was in fact your lover's. That was the little girl I found out lives with your mom earlier today. I can't believe you'd try to hide something so important from me. We were supposed to be getting married tomorrow, Carly. I feel like you've plunged a dagger straight through my heart with your lies.
Please, Tony.
Is it true that the only reason you ever wanted to marry me was because you knew my family comes from a long line of rich banking magnates, and I'm set to inherit their massive fortune when my dad dies?
Oh my God, she told you that too?
Holy crap, can you believe I was gonna marry you tomorrow? I would have actually gone through with it if no one had told me about your suspicious behavior. Talk about dodging a bullet.
My suspicious behavior? Wait, did someone tell you about me?
You were witnessed with your daughter by a certain individual I happen to be very close to. That person saw your daughter calling out to you over and over again, "Mommy, Mommy, Mommy." Then she saw you flat out ignore her while she desperately continued trying to get your attention with the most dejected, heartbroken look on her face.
What? Someone saw that?
Yes, and you should know we're not just talking about once or twice here. This is just a guess. But do you think maybe your daughter felt like you were abandoning her so you could marry me? In her eyes, I'm sure I was just some strange old man. Anyway, that was my hunch, and I trusted it. So I decided to go ahead and get the evidence I needed to prove it. After finding out about all this crap, there was no way I was ever gonna go through with the wedding, so I naturally broke off the engagement.
Who saw us? Who told you all this?
That's gonna have to be a no comment.
What? But why? Why do all my secrets have to be exposed? Why won't you tell me yours? This isn't fair.
This isn't a game, Carly. I have no obligation to tell you where I heard any of this. But you did have an obligation to tell me about your past, given the fact tomorrow was supposed to be our frickin' wedding day. Besides, I can't risk telling you who spilled the beans to me because I know you might try to get revenge. I'm keeping my mouth shut for their safety, and it's really important to me to protect them from any potential backlash. If you knew who it was, things could get messy, and I don't want to put them in a tough spot. You hid things from me that you had no right to hide. Marriage is about openness and honesty, and I can't spend the rest of my life with someone who can't even do the basic decency of telling me they have a daughter. If you're still confused, I suggest you have a long, hard think about what you've done. Who knows? Maybe you can use this as an opportunity to become a better person and avoid screwing up so badly with whoever comes next.
I can't believe this. Why are you making such a big deal out of it? Sure, maybe I wasn't totally honest about everything, but we're supposed to be getting married tomorrow. Can't we just let bygones be bygones and focus on the future, on the rest of our lives together?
What are you talking about? Are you insane? The fact that you think lying to me like this isn't a big deal is almost more worrying than the fact you did it in the first place.
But
I don't want to hear your buts. I need to deal with the more pressing matter of telling all of the guests tomorrow's wedding is off. I already told your mom about it.
no, wait, just wait.
Sure, I'll wait. Until you find a lawyer, I'm done speaking to you, so all further communications will go through the official channels.
No, please, don't do this. I'm begging you, baby. Can't we just talk this through like mature, responsible adults before making hasty decisions in the heat of the moment? Don't throw away what we have.
Goodbye.
Tony, please don't do this. I'll do anything. Just give me another chance.
Hey, Mom. Thanks for introducing me to your lawyer friend. He's really good. And I feel a whole lot more relaxed about this whole thing for having him around.
Will you be able to break off the engagement without issue then?
Yeah, it's actually way simpler than I expected it to be. I can't understate how helpful Carly's mom agreeing to cooperate with me has been. I really owe her one. If the lawyer manages to get the compensation documents sent off today, I should get all of the money I asked for within a few days in one lump sum. Oh, and I'll also be charging her for the wedding cancellation fee. It's not as much as I thought it would be, but it's still only right that she covers it.
I'm pleased to hear things are going well, son. I was worried things might get dragged out.
But still, I can't believe it. Carly's mom's been living on the same road Beth goes to school on all this time.
Right, we never really go that way unless we're taking her to school, right?
Exactly. If not for the changes they made to the school districts this year, we'd literally never go to that part of town. I feel awful about having put Beth through all this, but I'm super grateful she helped open my eyes to who the person I was about to marry actually was. I owe her a lot, and I fully intend to let her know what a special little girl she is.
Right, she's been very brave. How about you take her to Disney World as a little reward? I'm sure she'll forget the whole thing in a heartbeat as soon as her favorite theme park is mentioned. Didn't they just open a bunch of new rides based on their mascot, a Flicky Mouse? He's Beth's favorite, right? She has so many posters up in her room, I'm sure she'll jump at the opportunity for a day out there with her dad.
I like the way you think, Mom. Let's do it! You want to come with?
Are you sure you don't mind?
You're the one who told me what Beth had to say when I was in the process of plunging head first into one of the worst decisions of my life, Mom. The least I can do is treat you to a day out at the theme park. You have no idea how grateful I am. Seriously, thank you.
Oh, it's nothing, really. But still, you're right. It's time you reevaluated your choices in women, son. I don't like to get involved in these things, but I can't help but notice a pattern. This is the third woman who's turned out to be no good, isn't it?
Ah, you're right, when you put it like that.
I know you'll probably be focusing on looking after Beth for the time being, but mark my words, son, if and when you do find another girlfriend, I'll be hiring a private investigator.
I'll bear that in mind.
Tony, I have some super good news for you. It turns out we can get married now. I put my daughter up for adoption. There's nothing standing in the way of our love now, so what do you say? Let's get married. Oh, by the way, where are you living these days? I stopped by your apartment, but it was totally empty and had a for rent sign outside. I spoke to one of the neighbors and they told me you moved a little while back. Hello? Are you there? Go on, tell me your new address. Tony! Hurry up and tell me your new address so we can be together, baby!
It's been a few months since the divorce now. As you saw, apparently Carly put her daughter up for adoption. My jaw almost hit the floor in stupefaction when I read the messages, so I decided to have the lawyer I used at the time of the divorce get confirmation from Carly's mom, just in case. We found out that it was, in fact, Carly's estranged mom and dad who encouraged her to put her daughter up for adoption, because they knew better than anyone how unfit she was to be a mom. It seems like Carly was happy to get rid of her daughter, because she thought it'd mean me and her could get back together and we could finally get married. But by then, I'd moved back in with my mom in our hometown to focus on looking after Beth. I got a new job working from home from my laptop, and the three of us are having a great time together. Even in spite of me making it abundantly clear I never wanted to see my ex-fiancé again, she insisted on bombarding my phone number, email, and my mom's mailbox with letters begging for my forgiveness. With that, I told my lawyer to tell her in no uncertain terms that if she carried on harassing me, I'd be forced to take legal action. That same day, Carly was being broadcast on local news, smashing up my lawyer's office with a sledgehammer before being tased by police and taken away in handcuffs. Something tells me her future ain't gonna be so bright. Thanks for watching, folks. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you did. Did Carly get what she deserved in the end? Let us know in the comments. We can't wait to see you again next time.
Oh, hey there. Good morning, Monica. Are you going to work in those worn-out old rags that look like a 20-year-old present from your grandma again today, you broke loser? Hey, Roxanne. I'm pretty sure my clothes fall under office casual, and they're definitely not worn out. Anyway, what do the clothes I choose to wear to work have to do with you? It's not like I'm causing you any problems. Oh dear, what a shame. I see you still have precisely zero self-awareness. Your very existence is a problem when you go to work looking homeless every day, dear. How am I a problem? You walk around the neighborhood dressed like a broke loser, radiating the intolerable stench of poverty. Every time I walk past you, I have to pinch my nose. If I'm not careful, I could become poor like you just by being in your vicinity. It really is time you learn to have a little self-awareness, dear. If you don't get on top of your stench soon, the entire neighborhood will be wearing nose plugs. I have no idea what makes you think I'm a broke loser who radiates the smell of poverty, but me and my family really don't struggle with money as much as you seem to think we do. Are you joking? I've seen your house, dear. You're nothing but a broke part-time housewife who lives in a shabby, run-down ground floor apartment in the rough part of town. Excuse me? You obviously had no choice but to live there because the rent is dirt cheap and you couldn't afford anywhere more respectable. The place is so beat up, I wouldn't be surprised if the roof leaked every time it rained. You must have to walk around on your tiptoes to avoid the 200-year-old floor creaking. You seem to be making a bunch of huge misunderstandings here, Roxanne. I don't know why you think I work part-time, but I don't. As for the apartment, it was fully renovated 5 years ago. Nothing in there is 200 years old. Huh? It originally belonged to my husband's parents. He inherited it when his dad passed away 5 years back. His mom, who still lives with us now, suffered a fall and hurt her leg not too long afterwards, which ended up with her having to live in a wheelchair. So we had it reformed into a barrier-free, one-story bungalow to make her life there as easy and stress-free as possible. Around the same time, my husband also bought the house next door, which had been vacant for years, then had the connecting wall demolished to almost double the floor space. Even despite all that, buying the house, hiring the builders, paying for the materials, insuring the place, having wheelchair access facilities fitted, we still never struggled for cash. Wow. Basically, because you went on a foolishly irresponsible spending spree that was well beyond what you could afford, you're now a broke loser groveling around in the depths of soul-crushing poverty and despair. I guess everyone's definitions for poverty are probably different, but at least from where I'm standing, I don't feel like we're poor. That's only because you're too poor to have ever known what it's like to possess large amounts of money, my dear. I knew it. Without the sagely advice of someone highly respected, loved, and accomplished like myself, the wife of a CEO, you're not even capable of making even the bare minimum of decisions required to get by in life. You really are the most tragic human being I've ever met. You'll have to excuse me, but I have work soon, so I'm gonna have to head off. It's okay, dear, I understand. You'll get fired if you don't do as your boss tells you. I get it. It must really suck to be poor. But, Monica, really, I do at least think you should make the effort not to let your poor coworkers catch wind of the foul stench of your poverty. Everyone will be too grossed out to work and productivity will be down across the board. Oh, that reminds me. Me and the other moms from kindergarten are throwing a New Year's party this Saturday. It'll be held at my apartment. You know, the top floor apartment of the luxury apartment building overlooking the river on 5th Street. But of course, no broke losers will be invited. I can't wait to look down on your pathetic papier-mâché cockroach den from the balcony of my luxury apartment while we sip our $10,000 champagne. We'll be so high up above you, your pitiful excuse of an apartment will look like nothing more than a piece of garbage. Oh, did I tell you our $10,000 champagne will contain specks of gold dust? I know you couldn't possibly imagine what it's like to indulge in such sophisticated extravagance. But hopefully these messages aren't making you too jealous. Oh, of course, if you're absolutely desperate to come to my New Year's party and find out how the chosen few live, you need to get rid of that stench of poverty you radiate by moving up in the world until you make at least $100K a year. Only then will I consider sending you an invite. What on earth do you think you're playing at, Monica? Why would you come to my New Year's party? I made it very clear you weren't welcome. Why would you go out of the way to bug me over messages when we're at the same party? If you have a problem with me, come and say it to my face, Roxanne. That doesn't answer my question. What does a poverty-stricken loser like you think she's doing at a party of a CEO's wife? Anyway, what gives you the right to let yourself into my apartment like this? The roof of this building is a sacred place for the upper crust of society, life's winners like me. Poor people don't belong here, and you're not welcome. Think you had the nerve to bring your husband with you, too. I have no idea how you managed to get past security. But I'd rather you didn't stink out my luxury apartment with the rotten stench of your poverty. I'm going to have to spray some air freshener because of you. What a surprise that was! I genuinely have no idea how a broke loser like you ended up getting into my invite-only party, or what made you think you had the right to come in the first place, for that matter. I made it very clear you were only to come if you made more than $100K a year. That didn't give you any right to pour a bottle of champagne over my head. You unlawfully entered my apartment and you paid the price. I didn't do anything wrong. I was merely defending my property. Besides, I poured that bottle of champagne over your head out of kindness. Kindness? I figured if I could drench you in champagne, it might help get rid of the stench of poverty that follows you around wherever you go. But thanks to your illegal entry into my apartment, my luxury top-of-the-range Persian rug is covered in champagne now. I'll have you know that rug cost $7,000. If you don't compensate me for the damage you've done, I'll be forced to take extreme measures. Obviously, this should go without saying, but a cleaning won't do it. You've ruined the fabric forever, so you need to buy me a brand new rug. I know $7,000 probably amounts to a year's wages for the likes of a broke depth groveler like yourself. And I wouldn't be surprised if you even had to move out of your cockroach-infested apartment and live on the streets to come up with the money, but you should have thought about that before you spoiled my rug. Listen to me, Roxanne. You don't seem to be aware of this, but it was your husband who invited me and my husband. Huh? Initially, we were only supposed to be paying him a visit in his office on the second floor to make a few inquiries. But when we arrived, he told us he had some urgent business to attend to and apologetically invited us to wait for an hour upstairs in your apartment. He appeared to know that me and you are kindergarten acquaintances, so I guess he figured it'd make sense to invite me to your New Year's party to kill some time while he dealt with whatever stuff he had going on. He came up with us in the elevator, let us in, and showed us to the living room before disappearing off somewhere in a hurry. Huh? But what reason could you and your husband possibly have for visiting my husband's company? Your husband said he'd be messaging you about that. Huh? Haven't you heard anything from him? I don't know, maybe in a message or an email? Well, hold on, let me check. Oh my God! What in the Lord's name is happening? Monica, you're the president of my husband's company's biggest client company? What in the hell? How haven't I heard about this before? That's not all. What the hell are you doing living in a tiny ground floor apartment with a job like that? I thought you were broke. Excuse me? Let me get this straight. You thought I was poor because I live in a ground floor apartment? Who lives in ground floor apartments apart from broke losers? Everyone knows celebrities and successful people live on the top floor so they can look down on the peasants. Ah, I see. So that's why you went out of your way to get an apartment on the top floor, huh? Because in your mind, being that high up is the ultimate form of status symbol? What, are you saying it's not a status symbol? Of course, everyone's free to have their own ideas about the world. But I personally don't see any link between the altitude of someone's house and their value as a human being. And if I'm honest, I think that's a very shallow and superficial way of looking at the world. What the heck are you talking about? I did tell you this before, but my mother-in-law lives with me and my husband. She lives in a wheelchair, so it was a must that our place not have any stairs. That's why we bought the vacant house next door, had the second floors of both houses demolished, and had it converted into a big, spacious, barrier-free bungalow. Anyway, haven't you heard? Bungalows are in fashion these days. All the celebs and successful people are buying them. Oh my God, are they really? Hey, what's this crap I'm hearing about you terminating your contract with my husband's company? I take it your husband explained the situation to you then? My contract with your husband's company is terminated with immediate effect. Oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this just because I poured a bottle of champagne over your head as a joke. You have no right to drag my husband into this. This crosses the line. No way. Do you think that's the only reason I'm doing this? Huh? But my husband just called. He was furious. He said this was all happening because of my rude attitude at the New Year's party and that I had to apologize to you immediately. Listen, Roxanne, I'm not going to pretend you pouring a bottle of champagne over my head in front of everyone at your New Year's party has nothing to do with the contract termination. You mean there's another reason? I don't know how your husband explained it to you, but the reason me and my husband visited your husband's office on the second floor was to notify him we were terminating the contract. It was already decided at that point. What? I don't know how much of this I should tell you, since as far as I'm aware, you don't have anything to do with the management of your husband's company. But to summarize, I got sick of his failure to meet deadlines, the constant issues with quality when shipments did arrive, and not to mention the horrendous attitude his employees gave me when I tried raising the issues with them. He and his company have been impossible to work with these last 6 months, and it reached the point where I simply couldn't overlook it anymore because it was interfering with our ability to provide quality to our customers. If I'd let it continue, I am almost certain it would have had knock-on effects for our reputation and revenues. After lengthy discussions with my husband, who's responsible for client meetings, and other executives within our company, I decided we had no choice but to terminate the contract. To be honest, I had already made up my mind, but there was a small chance I'd have been willing to negotiate with your husband if he showed sincerity in wanting to improve. Until you poured champagne over my head, that is. With that, I resolved to wash my hands of the both of you for good. Oh my God! Wait, hang on a second. No way! Oh, surely all this stuff with my husband is just business. Why throw away our friendship too? Now I know you're rich and successful and that me and you are on the same level, we can grow closer than ever before. The same level as you? I get that you might be upset with my husband's company, but why throw away a friendship in the process? It seems like such a waste. Won't you rethink this, please, Monica? I can't say I was ever the type to link people's value as human beings to how much money they have, but I know that you take great pleasure in it. Which is why you should know that once your husband loses this contract, which accounts for over 80% of his sales, the future of his company probably isn't gonna look so bright. What? I advise you to consider the implications of that before talking to him. Monica! Could you please lend me some money? Say what now? I'm sure you've already heard, but my husband's company went bankrupt. Yeah, I may have heard a thing or two about that. Well, this means we're not going to be able to carry on living in this luxury high-rise apartment. You mean you're not going to be able to keep up with the rent? Yes. My husband's unemployed after his company went bankrupt, so he has to start from scratch and find a new job. Which is why I'd really appreciate if you could lend me just enough to cover the rent on this apartment. How about you just move somewhere more appropriate for your level of income instead of begging for money? Your husband's parents are looking after your son right now, right? So you either need to ask really nicely and hope one of your parents will let you move in with them until you get back on your feet, or if that doesn't work out, find a new job with a company that provides employee accommodation. No, I can't do that. Me? Work a job? Oh my God. It's not right that a woman of my status should have to associate with the peasants and work a normal person job. My status demands that I live on the top floor. Sure, I might have lost my title as CEO's wife, but that's just all the more reason I can't afford to lose this high-rise apartment. Listen, Roxanne, the thing is... You're going to lend me some money? Have you taken a shower lately? Huh? Do you wash your clothes? What the hell kind of questions are these? A close friend of mine lives in the same apartment block as you, but she told me that every time she walks past the housewife from the top floor, she has to hold her nose because she smells so bad. She said she gets the impression you're trying to cover up the smell by drenching your entire body in perfume. She says the smell resembles something like a mixture of your natural body odor and something that can only be described as not belonging to this world. Oh my God, do I smell that bad? Yes, you really smell that bad. Apparently, the smell is so awful that the company managing the apartments are currently in the process of writing up their claim against you because of the distress your stench is causing the rest of the residents.
No, it's not me. They're mistaking me for someone else.
That's funny, because when I asked her for your room number, she gave me yours.
No, there has to be some kind of mistake.
I really think you should do something about this, Roxanne, and sooner rather than later.
No, I do not smell!
I did wonder for a second whether the culprit behind the rotten stench might be Roxanne's husband, but it turned out that by that point, he'd already moved back in with his parents who lived 10 minutes away, which meant that the only one left behind in that foul-smelling room was Roxanne, all alone and with nothing left but her wounded pride. As for why the place smelled so bad, I found out later that the utilities got cut as a result of their failure to pay the rent, which in the middle of the summer in a place this hot is never going to end well. Even in spite of that, Roxanne, whose sense of self-esteem seemed entirely dependent on her living on the top floor of a luxury apartment block, defiantly stayed behind for a short while despite receiving several eviction notices. Eventually, though, she lost her nerve and moved out. I don't know whether it was because of the constant complaints from the neighbors, but they must have been elated when they found out she was gone. With that, she moved in with her husband and his parents. In desperate need of cash, she was forced to get a part-time job at a nearby supermarket, which is where she now spends her days doing the bare minimum of work to get by while riddled with chronic self-esteem issues due to her intolerably putrescent body odor. Thanks for watching, folks! We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to prove what a boss you are by liking and subscribing. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We can't wait to see you again next time.